Solitude is not merely the absence of companionship, it embodies a powerful presence. Have you ever felt a compelling urge to escape the clamor of the world? It's as if the company of others burdens your spirit more than solitude ever could. There's a reason the chosen ones often stand apart. It transcends mere preference. It's a matter of survival. But why do those destined for greatness find it challenging to be around large crowds? What makes the company of others so draining and detrimental to their higher purpose? The answer lies not in the individuals themselves, but in the core essence of being chosen. Many individuals unknowingly act as energetic parasites, drawing off the vitality of others, particularly those with powerful energy like the chosen ones. For the chosen, being around these people feels like standing in a tempest without any protection. It's not just emotionally taxing, it's physically depleting. The chosen have an intense aura that attracts others, making them prime targets for those seeking to latch onto something they lack within themselves. These energy thieves can seem harmless or even friendly, appearing as friends, colleagues, or family who constantly seek reassurance, attention, or validation. They may not even be aware of their behavior, but their relentless neediness can be overwhelming. For the chosen, the cost of associating with such individuals is too great. It's akin to pouring water into a bottomless vessel. No matter how much energy is given, it's never sufficient. As a result, the chosen are left drained, with little energy left for their own growth or purpose. What complicates this further is that these energy vampires often disregard boundaries. They demand your time, focus, and essence without offering any value in return. They don't replenish, they only deplete. Once you allow them into your life, they will return for more, leaving you feeling empty and disconnected from the very power that distinguishes you. Therefore, the chosen ones must be careful about whom they allow into their lives, as their energy is sacred and meant for something far greater than being squandered on those who only wish to consume. Mediocrity spreads like a silent virus, permeating everyday conversations, habits, and mindsets. When a chosen one spends too much time around individuals satisfied with living ordinary lives, something insidious begins to occur. The spark that makes them extraordinary starts to dim, not because they wish to lower themselves, but because constant exposure to mediocrity can make it seem acceptable. It seeps into their subconscious, making the extraordinary feel distant and the mundane acceptable. Most people settle for what is easy and familiar, drifting through life with small ambitions, chasing after superficial things like status, money, or fleeting pleasures. The chosen one, however, is wired differently, tuned into a higher frequency that seeks something deeper and more meaningful. When surrounded by individuals who don't share this vision, they risk being dragged into a cycle of small-minded thinking. Such an environment does not challenge them to grow, it holds them back. The danger of mediocrity lies not only in the ideas shared, but in how it saps the chosen one's energy, creativity, and passion. You cannot plant a rare seed in poor soil and expect it to thrive. The chosen one's mind is their most valuable asset, but in the company of mediocre people, it begins to shrink to fit the limitations of those around them. They stop dreaming big, cease pushing boundaries, and worst of all, lose faith in their own potential. Mediocrity is a trap, and for the chosen, it can be fatal. They must protect their vision by distancing themselves from those who cannot see beyond the ordinary. For a chosen one, authentic connection is almost impossibly rare. Most people lead lives skimming the surface, engaging in small talk, gossip, or shallow conversations that never delve deeper than the immediate. For the chosen, this is not just frustrating, it's utterly meaningless. Their souls crave depth, significance, and authenticity. Yet these qualities are scarce in a world fixated on the superficial. When a chosen one interacts with others, they can sense the emptiness behind most exchanges. People often focus on appearances, trivial matters, or drama, none of which hold any significance for someone driven by a higher purpose. The chosen can't feign interest. They cannot pretend to care about the latest trends or celebrity gossip because their thoughts are elsewhere, focused on ideas and visions that inspire them. Spiritual insights and truths that most individuals remain unaware of make connecting with someone who cannot engage at that level feel like attempting to describe colors to someone who has lived in darkness. This absence of genuine connection leads the chosen ones to feel isolated, not out of desire, but out of necessity, as the chasm between their inner experience and that of others is too wide to bridge. It's exhausting to be continuously misunderstood, to feel like an outsider among those who have no comprehension of what it's like to perceive the world in layers. The chosen ones seek conversations that nourish their souls, challenge their thoughts, and elevate their spirits. Unfortunately, most people offer nothing more than distractions and superficial chatter, which only weighs them down. True connection is found only with the few who share a similarly profound perspective on life, and until those rare souls are discovered, solitude becomes their refuge. When a chosen one finds themselves amidst a large crowd, something more profound occurs than merely feeling crowded or overwhelmed. It's as if their mental and spiritual clarity is compromised by the cacophony of others' energies. Highly sensitive to surrounding vibrations, the chosen struggle to maintain focus in large groups. It's akin to trying to hear a whisper in a room full of shouting, nearly impossible to discern what truly matters. The chosen rely on their intuition to navigate life. They don't make decisions solely based on logic, but instead listen to that quiet inner voice that provides guidance. However, the presence of others complicates this process, as opinions, judgments, and emotional baggage from those around them begin to create a barrier that interferes with their inner compass. People often project their feelings and thoughts outward, unaware of the energetic noise they generate. The chosen, being highly attuned, absorb all of this, sensing when someone feels anxious, angry, or stressed, even without a word being spoken. This overwhelming influx of external energy muddies their thoughts, making it challenging to maintain clarity. In a crowd where everyone has their own opinions, needs, or perspectives to share, the noise can momentarily obscure the chosen one's sense of purpose. It's not that they are antisocial. Rather, their journey demands a level of mental and spiritual clarity that cannot coexist with excessive outside influences. They require quiet, not only to recharge but also to stay aligned with the higher calling that shapes their existence. For the chosen ones, solitude is not merely a choice, it's a necessity. When alone, they are not evading others, they are returning to themselves. Solitude allows the chosen to recharge, realign, and reconnect with their true purpose. Being alone helps them cut through the chaos and noise of the world, accessing a deeper space where insights and clarity come naturally. This is not loneliness. It's a sacred realm of self-discovery. Unlike most people who may feel restless or fearful in solitude, the chosen find empowerment in their aloneness. Here they connect with the higher wisdom that guides them. Every moment of stillness presents an opportunity for reflection and connection to something greater. In these quiet moments, they receive the ideas and visions that set them apart from the crowd. These periods of solitude are vital, as their path cannot be dictated by external factors. It is an internal journey that can only be navigated in silence. Being around too many people disrupts this sacred process. The constant demands for attention, advice, or validation from others draw the chosen away from their inner sanctuary. The more they give to others, the less they retain for themselves, and if they lose touch with their inner world, they risk losing the very essence that makes them chosen. This isn't about isolation for its own sake. It's about safeguarding their source of strength, creativity, and purpose. The chosen understand that to fulfill their higher calling, they need solitude as much as they need air. In those moments of aloneness, they regain the energy and insights necessary to advance on their path, emerging stronger and more focused than ever. The mundane becomes intolerable for the chosen ones. It's not that they believe they are superior. Rather, their minds operate on a different frequency, attuned to a higher purpose. They perceive the world through a unique lens, and when surrounded by individuals who discuss trivial matters, like the latest gossip or social media trends, their spirits feel suffocated. This isn't merely boredom. It's a deep sense of disconnection from everything that truly matters to them. The chosen ones are inherently attuned to depth. They flourish in conversations that stimulate their intellect and expand their imagination. They seek discussions about ideas, purpose, the essence of existence, and the unseen forces that influence the world. However, most people do not dwell in that realm. They are more interested in superficial distractions. For a chosen one, engaging in these shallow conversations feels like being pulled through quicksand. The more they try to participate, the more burdensome it becomes. The realization that many are perfectly content living a superficial life only adds to this frustration. They don't yearn for growth or deeper meaning. For the chosen one, this is unfathomable, as their minds are perpetually searching for more understanding, more insight, more truth. Consequently, When compelled to interact with those entrenched in the mundane, it feels as though their brilliance is being muted, their creativity stifled. It's not arrogance, it's a necessity. The chosen cannot remain in environments that do not nurture their spirits. They can't pretend to care about trivial matters because doing so depletes the energy required to fulfill their higher purpose. To them, the mundane is not merely dull, it's a distraction from their mission, weighing them down and pulling them away from the extraordinary. Chosen ones possess a powerful aura that, whether they wish it or not, attracts attention and stirs up the energies around them. This is beyond their control. It's simply part of who they are. Their presence disrupts the emotional and energetic equilibrium of those they encounter, which isn't always advantageous. In fact, it often makes them targets for emotional vampires, jealousy, and constant misunderstandings. When a chosen one enters a room, something shifts. People immediately sense the difference, even if they can't articulate it. This attention isn't always positive. Some feel intimidated, others experience envy, and some simply feel uneasy without knowing why. Chosen ones radiate a type of energy that can't be ignored, which can be threatening to some. It challenges their sense of normalcy, compels them to face their own limitations, and makes them feel insignificant in comparison. This unspoken dynamic creates a tension that the chosen can acutely feel, even without any words being exchanged. Emotional vampires are particularly attracted to this energy. Individuals who drain the light from others due to their own lack of inner resources. They latch onto the chosen, seeking validation, comfort, or healing without reciprocating. The problem is that the more the chosen give, the more these individuals take, resulting in an endless cycle of emotional depletion that leaves the chosen feeling worn out and hollow. Additionally, misunderstandings accumulate as people project their insecurities, fears, or desires onto the chosen ones, often without even realizing it. They may misinterpret the chosen's quiet strength as arrogance, their need for solitude as rejection, and their wisdom as condescension. The chosen do not fit neatly into societal expectations, which often leads to friction. Their aura disrupts, but it is not their responsibility to make others feel comfortable. Most people fear what they do not comprehend. When a chosen one enters a crowded space, they bring an energy that often makes others uneasy. This discomfort arises from a profound fear of the unknown. For many, the chosen represent something beyond their grasp, a force that challenges the status quo and forces them to confront their own limitations. Most individuals prefer the familiar, the predictable, and the comfortable. When faced with someone who embodies a higher purpose, they are compelled to reckon with aspects of themselves they may not wish to acknowledge. This fear manifests in various ways. Some may respond with hostility or defensiveness, projecting their insecurities onto the chosen. They might label them as aloof or arrogant, failing to recognize that the chosen are merely existing in a space that feels authentic to them. Others may try to diminish the chosen's light, attempting to bring them down to a more comfortable level through snide remarks, or by downplaying their accomplishments. This reaction is a desperate attempt to regain control over their own narrative, and often leads to painful misunderstandings for the chosen. Ironically, the chosen do not seek to intimidate anyone. They simply wish to be themselves. However, their mere presence can evoke feelings of inadequacy in others, which can lead to defensive behavior. Consequently, chosen ones frequently find themselves feeling isolated, unable to connect genuinely with those around them. The fear of what they embody can create a barrier that is difficult to penetrate. They stand apart not out of desire but because their existence serves as a mirror reflecting the limitations and fears of those who cannot see beyond the surface. In this sense, their very essence becomes a source of discomfort for those who are afraid of what they do not understand. For the chosen ones, the world often resembles a bustling marketplace filled with voices clamoring for attention, all striving to define what success, happiness, and fulfillment should look like, and even what identity should encompass. The pressure to conform to societal standards can be overwhelming. Those around them often insist on confining the chosen ones into categories, labeling them based on superficial traits or expectations. For many, the instinct to fit into predetermined roles is natural, but for the chosen, it feels stifling. When someone tries to box in a chosen one, it's akin to attempting to capture lightning in a bottle. They cannot be easily classified or defined. Their spirit rebels against confinement. Yet this impulse to simplify the chosen is rooted in fear. Fear of the unknown, and fear of what they cannot control. Those who lack the vision or ambition to rise above their limitations often feel threatened by the potential of the chosen, so they try to contain them, making them more palatable and manageable, while stripping away the very qualities that make them distinctive. This relentless need to categorize leads to frustration for the chosen ones, who sense that their true essence is being overlooked or misunderstood. They long for a world where their complexities are celebrated, and their aspirations aren't dismissed as unrealistic or impractical. Constantly fighting against others' expectations can be exhausting, and over time, they learn that the only way to preserve their authenticity is to distance themselves from those who try to box them in. Ultimately, the chosen realize that they were never meant to blend in. They are meant to stand out. They must fiercely protect their freedom, embrace their individuality, and navigate life on their own terms, even if it means traveling alone. They understand that genuine fulfillment comes from honoring their own journey, rather than attempting to meet the narrow expectations of a world that values conformity over authenticity. For chosen ones, navigating life can be a bewildering experience, especially when confronted with the overwhelming prevalence of illusion. Many people around them are not merely living in a fantasy, they are addicted to it. They cling to superficial appearances, pursuing status symbols, societal approval, and fleeting pleasures while neglecting the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. This obsession with illusion creates a distorted reality, where authentic connections and genuine experiences are sacrificed to maintain a facade. In a society infatuated with social media likes, curated lifestyles, and shallow relationships, the chosen ones frequently find themselves at odds with the prevailing mindset. They are seekers of truth, yearning for depth and authenticity in a world that celebrates the superficial. When they encounter individuals engrossed in these illusions, it can be disheartening. The chosen long for meaningful conversations and profound connections, yet they are often met with distraction and denial, leaving them feeling isolated in their quest for genuine experiences. The peril of this addiction to illusion is that it fosters collective ignorance, making it challenging for people to discern what is real and what is not. The chosen observe how individuals construct their identities around false narratives, often oblivious to the emptiness that lies beneath their carefully curated lives. This dissonance is troubling. The chosen wish to inspire others to break free from the chains of illusion, but they often discover that many prefer the comfort of their fantasies to the discomfort of confronting harsh truths. Ultimately, the chosen ones must learn to navigate these waters with discernment. They need to protect their energy and creativity from being drained by those trapped in illusion, while also seeking out the few who can see beyond the surface. This journey can be lonely, but it is crucial for their own growth and purpose. In a world intoxicated by illusion, the chosen are called to stand firm in their truth, illuminating the path for others to follow, even if it means taking a road less traveled. For the chosen ones, the burden of knowing can be both a blessing and a curse. They possess an intrinsic awareness that often transcends the surface-level experiences of everyday life. This heightened perception enables them to discern the truth of situations, relationships, and even the world at large. However, this gift comes with its own challenges. Knowing what others might overlook, seeing the pain behind a smile, or sensing the hidden motivations of those around them can feel isolating and heavy. It creates a profound sense of responsibility as they grapple with the weight of understanding what others choose to ignore. When chosen ones witness the struggles of others, they often experience profound empathy that can lead to emotional overwhelm. It feels as though they bear the weight of the world on their shoulders, acutely aware of the collective suffering and disillusionment that frequently goes unnoticed. This heightened awareness can become paralyzing, particularly when they feel helpless to effect change. They desire to help and share their insights, but they often discover that those around them are either unwilling or unable to accept the truths they perceive. This creates a painful gap between them and the rest of the world. Moreover, this depth of understanding can make it challenging for chosen ones to connect with others. Conversations often seem superficial, leaving them struggling to find common ground with those who appear satisfied living in ignorance. This disconnect can lead to feelings of loneliness and frustration. They long for meaningful connections, but frequently feel like outsiders observing from a distance. The burden of knowing can further isolate them, prompting them to retreat into themselves for solace. In essence, While the gift of insight is invaluable, it also demands that chosen ones navigate a complex emotional terrain. They must learn to balance their awareness with self-care, understanding that although they can't save everyone, their understanding can serve as a guiding light for those ready to seek the truth. Their path is intentionally lonely. For chosen ones, the journey through life often feels deeply isolating, and this solitude isn't accidental, it's by design. From a young age, they sense that their path is distinct, marked by an inner calling that separates them from others. While their peers pursue conventional goals and societal approval, the chosen ones are drawn to a deeper purpose that is frequently misunderstood. This divergence creates an inherent distance, leaving them feeling like wanderers in a world that doesn't fully recognize or appreciate their uniqueness. This loneliness is exacerbated by the burden of awareness they carry. They perceive the world with a clarity that others might not, creating an emotional chasm. Conversations that feel meaningful to them often come across as superficial to others. They crave depth and authenticity, but struggle to connect with those more preoccupied with the distractions of daily life. Consequently, they often retreat into themselves, seeking solace in solitude, where they can reflect, recharge, and tap into their inner wisdom away from external distractions. While this isolation can be painful, it serves a purpose. It isn't a punishment, rather it's a sacred space that enables chosen ones to cultivate their unique gifts. In solitude, they gain insights, nurture their creativity, and connect with a deeper sense of self. It's a time for inner work and spiritual growth, a necessary process that prepares them for their ultimate calling. Ultimately, the chosen ones must learn to embrace their journey, recognizing that this loneliness is integral to their path of self-discovery and fulfillment. While it may feel isolating at times, it is also a powerful opportunity for transformation. They are not meant to blend in. They are meant to stand out, forging a trail that others may one day follow, illuminating the way with their wisdom and authenticity. This solitary journey molds them into the catalysts for change they are destined to be. In a world often dominated by the noise of illusion and conformity, the chosen ones embark on a uniquely personal journey, marked by the trials of isolation, deep awareness, and an unyielding pursuit of authenticity. While their path may be lonely by design, it is also a sacred space that nurtures growth, resilience, and profound understanding. They bear the burden of knowing, which allows them to see truths that others remain blind to. Yet this insight is both a gift and a weight, as they navigate the complexities of relationships and societal expectations. They learn to embrace their individuality and honor their calling, paving the way for others to discover their own light. Ultimately, the journey of the chosen ones is a testament to the power of embracing one's true self in a world that often seeks to contain them. They are the trailblazers, the visionaries, and the healers who challenge us to look beyond the surface and dive deeper into our own truths. Their solitude is not a curse, but a sanctuary where they can recharge and connect with their higher purpose. If this message resonates with you and you wish to explore more about the intricacies of being a chosen one, subscribe to our channel, The Anointed Path. Join us as we delve deeper into these themes, share inspiring stories, and create a community of like-minded souls. Your journey of self-discovery and empowerment awaits, and together we can illuminate the path for ourselves and others. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and embark on this extraordinary journey with us.